What's good, everybody? It's your boy Mike. Doing a video of like my first time ever being high, smoking weed, shit like that. So let's get started. So it all starts of me going to New York. You know, that's where I'm from. But I live in North Carolina, so drive down to New York, drive up to New York for Christmas break. And this was on Christmas Day when it happened. So my cousin was like, "Yo, you want to wake and bake?" I'm like, alright. So this is like around 11:30, 11:20, and sorry, my boy. This is like around 11:30, so I walked to his house, put on my sweats, and put on my hoodie. Walked to his house, and keep in mind his house is like right on the corner. So all I gotta do is it's like a 2-minute walk. Whew. So yeah, I get to his house. That nigga's like there. He's in his sweats too, and he calls my other cousin, well, our cousin, Jeffrey, and he comes through in about 10 minutes. We all hop in the car. We all drive to the person's house to pick up the weed, the bud, and everything. And keep in mind, my first time doing it was blueberry kush. So prior, before I had any knowledge of weed or anything, people were saying, first time users shouldn't do kush. But I didn't know what the fuck it was until after I already smoked it, and I was already, like off of the high and whatever. So we get the weed. He already has a Swisher Sweets and everything, or yeah, you know what I mean, like a cigar or whatever. I think he cut it open or like ripped the shit down. Put the tobacco in some cup or whatever, and it starts breaking down the weed like that. I think he didn't have a grinder, so he was breaking it down like that, and puts puts that shit in there, rolls that shit up, licks all that shit, how it goes. And I'm just sitting in the back, just listening to Eminem and shit. That's my rapper. That's my favorite rapper and everything. So I'm just sitting in the back, just chilling, just like looking around. Hopefully nobody hopefully we're not too obvious on what we're doing. So I was like the lookout person. So after he's already he already has the blunt. After he already has the weed in the blunt and everything, he lights that shit up underneath. Then he lights it up. He takes the first 3 hits, and I'm just sitting there. I'm like I always like the smell of weed, but I just never done it or never wanted to. But I wasn't peer pressure or anything, so don't think that. No, I'm not easily peer pressure. It was just a choice that I wanted to do. So yeah, he takes the first 3 blunts, pass it to my other cousin, and he takes 3 hits. My bad. Then he gives it to me. And keep in mind, I don't know how to smoke, or I never done it. So I took the blunt and everything, and I'm like, right, trying to act all cool and shit, and and I'm trying to act my fault, and I'm trying to act all cool and everything, and what I did is I held it in, but I didn't inhale it though. And when I opened up my mouth, all the smoke just came in, and they're looking at me like, "Yo, nigga, what the fuck is wrong with you? You wasting it." And I'm like, "What are you talking about?" I was like, "I smoked it." And then "You're not doing it right." He was like, "Here, take a couple more." Before I took it, he showed me. He was like, "All right, when you do it, you puff it and shit." And he was like, you try to push it down your lungs and some shit. And I'm like, "What do you mean?" He was like, "You just got to do it." So I tried it and I did it, and I held it in, and barely any smoke came out. It was a little bit, but not a lot probably before that. And so he was like, "Yeah, that's how you take a hit right there." And I'm like, "Alright, word." So let me see. After that, keep on taking more hits, and I thought I was trying to make myself high, or thinking that I'm high at least. And I'm saying in my head, I'm like, "Yeah, I'm high." I'm like, "Motherfucker, I'm high," but I really wasn't. That's the funny thing. And so I'm just sitting there, and my cousin asked me, he's like, "You high yet?" And I'm like, "Shit, I don't even know. I still feel normal. I had a snap on everything. I was drinking that shit just in case if I got cotton mouth, But so I took a sip of my Snapple. That shit tasted mad good. I guess that was one of the first signs, whatever. But yeah, that shit tasted mad good to me. And then this was alright, 10 minutes go by now. The blunt is done. you know, I had the roach, and that shit was burning my fingers. So I was like, take this shit, I don't want it. So I threw it on the floor. They got mad at me. I'm like, what the fuck you gonna do? Like, cause like I'm like the oldest out of all of them. So and so I give it to them. You know, my cousin did some shit with the roach. He did some type of technique to smoke it or whatever. I didn't know how to do it without burning my fingers. And you know, he took it. He's like, this is how you do a roach. And I'm like, alright, whatever. So I'm just chilling in the back, right? And to us, it's a brick house. You know, like brick, like burgundish, reddish. So you know, I was like this, you know, just bopping, right? And I looked to my left, and I'm like, and that shit just caught me. I was in like a trance. And I was like, yo, y'all niggas see that? Like, yo, like, do y'all see this? So what I was seeing, like, the brick color, the color of the brick was like changing colors on me. Like, not like red, blue, green, yellow. Like, it was like getting darker and then going back to the same color. Like, going, like, it's kind of like a vroom, 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 like that type of effect of color. And, you know, I'm like, y'all don't see that? He was like, nah, niggas, what are you talking about? And I'm like, fuck it, whatever. So I snap out of it. So after that, we started talking about everything. I'm talking about, like, sports, food. I mean, it first went, like, sports, then, like, football and basketball, and then who's better, LeBron or Kobe. Of course, LeBron is better than Kobe. I don't care what y'all niggas say, but LeBron is better. But Jordan is the best of all time. And, so after all those things talking about, we get to the food. And as soon as we got the food, my bad for that. And as soon as we get the food, you know, this was on Christmas Day, right? So everything is closed pretty much. So I'm like, I was really craving like fries. I was like, yo, deadass, I want some fries. And my bad for that. I just got so many interruptions. But we'll keep the video going. But yeah, like, I was craving for some fries, specifically McDonald's or it was really Checkers and White Castle. So, you know, if you guys don't know what that is, then, you know, that's more in the East Coast, North, like New York, Philly, Jersey, shit like that. But, so yeah, I'm in New York and everything, so yeah. And I'm like, yo, niggas, yo, I want some fries. And they're like, yo, there's nothing open. You know, like, all fast food restaurants are open. I mean, are closed. And I'm like, I'm still going on. I'm like, I want some fries. Like, if you don't give me some fries, I'm about to go crazy. And then that's when, you know, I thought about it, and I was like, yo, I want some Chink food. If you don't know what Chink food is, Chinese food. But I was like, yeah, I want some Chink food. And then, like, yo, that sounds mad good right now. So we drive to Pathmark, which is, you know, like a supermarket. Sort of like Walmart, but a little bit smaller. And, you know, we drive there. Yeah, my bad. So yeah, we get to the Chinese place, and right, so I'm mixed. Like, you probably can't tell right now, but like, I'm mixed and everything. So, like, as soon as I walk into the as soon as I walk into the Chinese food place, you know, I go up in there and I start speaking Spanish to them. And, you know, I just start, like, rumbling, like, kind of, like, cursing them out in a way, but as in, like, not, like, a formal way, but you get my point. So I was just saying, like, pendejo and everything, you know, just saying that to them. And I was like, maldito idiota, or idioto, you know, if it was a boy or girl, it don't matter. But, that shit was, like, mad funny to me. So we get there, and I always get Chinese, General Tao chicken with white rice. So I go up to the dude, and I'm like, yeah, I want General Tao chicken. And he's like, alright. But then in the back of my head, I always wanted fries. So I was like, can I get General Tao chicken with fries? And they're like, we don't have fries here. And I was like, well, can I get General Tao chicken with rice? He was like, we don't have fries here. He repeated me. So when he said that shit confused me. So when he said that, I was like, but I thought you said you don't have fries. He's like, we don't. And I was like, can I get General Tao chicken? He's like, yeah. And I was like, can I get a fries? He was like, no. So it was going back and forth, and I was getting confused because I was fucked up and everything. And after that, my cousin, he pushed me up. Well, not pushed me, but he, like, put me to the side. He was like, look, I'll order for you. What do you want? I was like, I want General Tao chicken with white rice. So, you know, I did that shit. I paid with my credit card. Now, keep in mind, now, when you pay with your credit card, you got to, like, sign a receipt and everything. So the dude gave me the receipt, right? So I get it. This is the receipt. So I'm like, all right. Like I do my signature is usually like M. Cross. So I'm like this. You get my point. So everything, I felt like I was in like the Matrix. Like everything was like slow motion, and I'm like, what? So yeah. After that, we get the food. We hop back into the Jeep. We park in front of my cousin's house, and we start eating. Now this is the funny part where I almost died of laughter. Now my cousin was fucked up too. So my younger one, and so he gets the food, and he drops that shit on the floor, and I'm just like, I'm just laughing my ass off, and I was like, oh, you just dropped, like he had boneless wings with boneless wings with something. I think he just had boneless wings, yeah. So like 6 wings, maybe 7 of them dropped on the floor, and I'm just over here dying with my General Tso chicken. So I'm eating this shit. Now keep in mind, I always, every time I go to Chinese food or take out whatever, I always get General Tso chicken, no matter where I'm at, what time. I always get General Tso chicken white rice. So I'm eating this shit, and I'm like this, like literally, I'm like, yo, I never had this shit before. That shit is really good. Yo, you gotta try this. I was like, you ever had this? I was just like after my cousin told me, I was laughing. I was like, did I really say that? He was like, yeah. And like I always get General Tso chicken, and I ate that shit. That shit was mad hot, but to me, it felt like it was like warm. So I ate it in like 4 minutes, and I was just going ham. Like I was like, oh, this shit is sex in my mouth. Like damn. But yeah. And after that, he drops me off at my cousin's house. We go upstairs, and we just knock out for about 5 hours. So I wake up. I still like kind of felt high or a little buzz or whatever. Which, I mean, have that ever happened to y'all? I don't know. But anyway, I walked back to my grandparents' house. This is like around 9 o'clock. Had my hoodie on, and I was like, "Hi, Mom," and I just like, knocked out on the couch, and that's all I did, and that's my story. So yeah. So like, I don't know. Tell me your experience. What happened? Was it good? Like I'm still to this day, I'm not a smoker. I've done it 4 other times after my first time. But they were like once every month or once every 2 weeks, 3 weeks, whatever. Like smoking never comes up to my mind unless somebody brings it up to me. Then I'll think about it. But yeah, that's all I have to share with you guys for today. So I'll hit y'all up with another video. I usually post videos about every Wednesday, but I couldn't get it last Wednesday because I was busy with some shit. But so I'm out, y'all. Hit y'all later. Peace.